Hi, greetings. This is Sieg with leadership quality number 9. And it's a very foundational concept or a character attribute of leadership. And that is be ever so faithful. Be ever so faithful. And that term faithfulness is kind of come and gone. We don't really hear about it much in the culture anymore. It's like everything's moving so fast. I mean, what is faithfulness? You barely even hear conversations about it. But I'm bringing this up, and again, my orientation is towards entrepreneurs, business owners, network marketers. And when we really look at why people join us and follow us in business, it's our leadership attributes. It's that quality that we uniquely bring to them that nobody else can. And I believe there's a very strong case to be made for faithfulness. Gosh, I mean, it almost feels like it's an archaic term, like that they did that back in my grandma's day, but not now. And I would really beg to differ. I think it's one of the strongest ways for you to really stand out and be different as a leader is that you're faithful. So what exactly do I mean by being faithful? Being faithful means being committed. Being committed. And when people aren't committed, they're just kind of like cattywampus all over the place. I mean, after a certain point, you can barely take them seriously because they're flitting. They're just kind of flitting across the pond. And how could you possibly follow them? There's not much to adhere to stick to follow them on because they flit. And I'm going to say it for what it is because my niche is for network marketers. That flitting response mechanism, it's way up in our space. And I think that is just going to continue to rise and scale. I think there's a lot of dynamics to that. Part of it being the down economy affects people's mental psyche, their physiology. They go into flip mode and trigger mode so much more readily because there are higher levels of desperation at hand. That lack of, or that sense of stableness and groundedness starts to evaporate somewhat because of the pronouncement of the economic downturn. You know, people are making hastier decisions. They fly faster. They flit across the pond much more quickly than maybe, say, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Definitely 2 or 3 decades ago, when there was a greater sense of stability. So, faithfulness. The faithfulness goes deep, though, beyond, I'm going to promote this program or I'm going to promote that program. Is the faithfulness, the pillars of that create like a sure foundation for who you are, the essence of who you are, the character of you has been put through the mixer and poured out and laid down and cured like cement for the foundation of a home. So the faithfulness would be towards those commitments you have for your business obligations, your business promises, your business fulfillments on what you say you will do. And I really believe most of life is really played out in the small events. We take note of the big supernova events and wow, that's really where it's at. But it's really the incremental, the most minute conversations. And I'm just going to give an example of this. My head coach here at the Daily Marketing Coach is Kurt Johnson. And I love this analogy that he made relative to how you can see the true character of a person and how they treat people. He said one of the best ways to do that is to go out for dinner with them and just watch how they treat the waiter or the waitress. I've seen it. And when he brought this up, I was just like, yep, so true, so true. What a perfect analogy. You start to see, are they like full of themselves? They're arrogant, they're egotistical, and they treat the waitress like they're a piece of dirt. Okay? That's not a very attractive attribute. And that's part of faithfulness. Are you faithful towards people that maybe if you look at the hierarchy of levels of relationships that, well, this person isn't quite at this rank with me, so, and then you see them and kind treat them like dirt, okay? That's their character being manifested. So with this attribute of faithfulness is for you to consider that not just in the big scheme of things, but in the minute, smallest conversations. Do you mean what you say? Do you fulfill on that? Because that's really where the foundation of your integrity is laid out, is in those small, minute conversations and you following through on your commitments. That's faithfulness. So this is a wrap for our entire leadership series. We are at Leadership Quality 9. So I'd like you to go ahead and comment if any of what I just shared with you about faithfulness resonates with you. Does it have meaning? Does it have significance in the context of business? Or are we just a bunch of sharks swimming in a tank? Is it just an animal kingdom type of a thing? Or is there an elevated conversation here? And can we have excellence in business? And I would wager to say, my belief, and the whole purpose of these leadership series videos is that yes, we can have, and we can go back to a more elevated way in which business should and ought to be conducted. So I hope you've enjoyed this series with me. Again, go ahead and comment below. And I've really enjoyed, for those of you who have commented in my previous videos leading up to this time, I really appreciate that. It's been a great time to be with you and share my thoughts on leadership. All right, thanks so much, and I hope to be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.